YouTube, how we doing? PPS back here, past the prop Monday edition, coming back at you live over here on YouTube with my guy, as always, Monotone Footbal. How we doing, Stu? How we doing today?
It's been good. I had a good NBA day yesterday. Been a little under the weather this weekend, but hey, man, winning some bets always makes me feel better. It's just kind of how it is. So got some momentum from yesterday, ready to keep it going today with this kind of very small MLB slate we got going on.
Yeah, it's nice and short, pretty easy to kind of break down. There's not as much to work with, so you only have a couple things to focus on. Let's check in the chat. We got Turbo, as always. I think he beat Jay today, which is impressive. Usually no one beats Jay to the messages there. We got Ben in here as well. Steve, hope all is going well. Hope you had good weekends. Yeah, weekend was very good to me. I mean, it was another pretty happy Saturday. I don't know if you saw some of my tickets. I was down in Chicago because I had to pick my girlfriend up at the airport on Saturday night. And I was down there, had two home run parlays, and on the last one, I had a round robin with Altuve needing to go yard. And it was so frustrating watching him just go over and just K up every single time, dude. It was getting so frustrating. But hey, that's why we round robin some of these crazy ones. And that's what I'm going to say now going into NFL when it gets here. Please round robin when we do our crazy touchdown parlays. That's just something I thought of because we're going to probably do a lot of those this season. So make sure you guys do those to at least guarantee some profit in the long term. Scoop the pot. I don't think I think he might be new to the thing, or I think
no. He's always going with the mono bank. I think he dropped the mono today.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if maybe I've just not read the name before. I don't think I've said scoop the pot on air before, so that might be my first time saying it. But that might be just me not remembering it. But let's go into last week. Did you? I think you hit both, right? Or did you hit one?
No, we met. What was the first one? It was a hit parlay, and one of them, Hayes was just
Oh, okay.
Hayes was terrible, so that was not fun. Goldschmidt also, he didn't drop the hit streak then, but he did lose it over this weekend, which luckily I wasn't on it that day, but I do feel for a lot of people that finally missed out. The doubleheader gets you, man. It gets you.
Yeah, and then he had to hit the next, literally 3 hours later. So
yep.
I split right down the middle. Blue Jays team total hit. And then Urquidy decided to have 9 Ks. I don't know what happened with the Royals.
He struck out the side in the first inning, right? Yeah. It was
in 30 pitches, but he got 3 Ks. So I ended up going complete wash, zeroed out there. I believe Taylor fade. We faded the Dodgers. I think they might have won, and then the Giants tailed, and we did win that one.
Yep. So 1-1. You finally broke your sweep streak, right? Finally.
Yeah. Actually, how did Luis Garcia do? Did he just not play?
He didn't get his hit either. He didn't get his hit. But like I said, he did get a hit, sorry. But that was the $25 one.
So just a mini one. I didn't even know if he even played there.
Yeah, no, he did.
Yeah, Ben, it was unfortunate, man. I was at 2 of the games this weekend. I got the bobblehead. And they gave out some cool Hawaiian shirts, some Brewer Hawaiian shirts.
Okay.
That fits into my wardrobe very nicely. I'm a Hawaiian shirt guy that I wear a lot. So that was cool. They had these really good drinks there on Friday. I was Friday. My family came down because they wanted to get the shirts. And they had this blue curacao drink with 3 types of different booze in it. And it was so good, man. It was so good. I mean, I probably dropped $50 on 3 of them, and I was feeling damn good at that game. Unfortunately, they almost got no-no'd, so that was nice. I think they broke up the no-no with 2 outs in the 8th inning. Yep. So it was a quick game, though. We were in and out. Everything was good, and let's get rolling into today. Only 3 plays today. That's how we can kind of shoot the shit for a little bit longer. But if you guys are here, might as well drop a like over on the YouTube video, over on Twitter. And let's get started. I will be starting off today again, and I will be starting out with the Guardians first 5 money line, a guy who has been very good to me this year, Mr. Cal Quantrill, who's been fantastic at home this year, only allowing a 193 batting average at home with a 280 on base percentage. He'll be facing off against the Texas Rangers today, who really, you could tell this weekend, only really scored on home runs. I don't know if you watched their games at home there. Texas was facing off against the Mariners, and I think 90% of the runs they scored this weekend were homers, right? Adolis Garcia goes yard 2 or 3 times. Semien went yard. Garver goes yard. They're just hitting homers. And that's the thing with Cal Quantrill is he's really not giving up the long ball this year, really at all. I think he's only given up 3 home runs this year in 53 innings. So I'm not really worried about that too much. Also, at home this year, he's only given up 1 home run in 24 innings. So a team that really has to hit the ball over the fence and not manufacture runs. I think Cal Quantrill's a guy that will keep the ball on the ground, will keep them inside the park. And I think that's really going to help us here, especially with John Gray on the bump for Texas. Obviously, John Gray is going to have a ton of recency bias on these lines after his last outing, where he absolutely cooked the Tampa Bay Rays for 12 strikeouts. So this line is going to be as high as they're going to give John Gray of a line here. I think the Guardians should be favored here. This is a straight pick 'em. With Quantrill at home, I think he gets the edge. You look at John Gray's numbers. He's got a 5.4 ERA in 28 innings on the road this season. Very home run prone there with 4 homers so 1 home run every 7 innings pitched. And this team does not strike out, right? The Guardians are one team that I do like to attack with the under strikeouts. And on the road, John Gray just really hasn't been striking out guys at all. Only 24 Ks in 28 innings. But everybody's going to look at last game, right? 12 strikeouts. This guy's a K pitcher. I would lean towards the under on John Gray strikeouts, and I also think the Guardians score some runs on him early. So give me the Guardians first 5 money line. I think that this should be a little bit more favored towards the Guardians here at home.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. Guardians are a team I feel like they're kind of undervalued a lot, right? They're a team I feel like almost are never getting the respect they deserve, especially now that they have one of their better pitchers on the mound right here. I like what you said. It's a stylistic mismatch, right? We've got a team that's going out there kind of like your Brewers, right? Going out there trying to hit bombs. They're not trying to keep the line moving. They're not stacking singles back to back to back. They're not laying down bunts. They're going out there trying to hit some bombs. And when you've got a pitcher that's his goal, he's going to try to not let you hit bombs, right? He wants those kind of double plays, wants you to hit it on the ground. It's a good stylistic mismatch. To get it at only minus 110 for a team, I think the Guardians are just a tier above the Rangers, right? Would you say that? Maybe
offensively for sure.
Right here. But yeah, so Guardians, a team I've seen kind of undervalued a good amount. I like it. I'm going to tell you right here for sure. Guardians have been good to me this year.
Yeah, I'll probably might go a little bit higher once I see lineups. But yeah, I think Quantrill is fantastic value here in DFS. We've been having success rolling with some of the guys we've been betting on. So I think Quantrill is definitely a cheap SP2 DraftKings spot if you're looking at that as well. I'm happy to have the stamp of approval from our guy Jay over there. And we will head right on over into your first play or an only play of the day, rolling with another hit parlay that seems to be looking pretty good.
Yeah, I'm staying in the arena of the hit parlay. That's where I stay these days. K-props are fun. I like the K-prop same game parlays when you can bring it down 1 or 2 and add a hit into it, especially, and we won't get into that, but we'll start out with what I like to do. I don't want to rant. I rant a lot, okay? JD Martinez is a guy we were rolling with a good amount earlier in the season. He obviously broke up that hit streak, maybe soured a couple people, but I'm still on board right here. JD, first of all, he got the day off yesterday, which a lot of people, and even me too, I tend to not like it with these younger guys. You like when they get hot, they get in these hit streaks. JD Martinez is a professional hitter. This guy can take a day off whenever he wants, and he'll come back in and still do what he does every single day, right? He's hitting 353 on the season. That is 3rd in the MLB. He has a pretty good history against Syndergaard too, 4 for 8 in his career, batting 500 against him. And obviously Syndergaard just had that meltdown the other matchup too. We don't know how he's going to bounce back from that, whether he shows similar stuff or maybe has a good bounce back game. But either way, like I said, JD Martinez is a professional hitter. I trust him to go out there every single day and get those knocks, really no matter who he's facing. It's just a bonus that we get a guy that he has some pretty good history against. Moving over to Springer. I always like picking him against pretty much a left-handed pitcher, right? He's batting over 300 against left-handed pitching, 278 on the season, but he's been playing well recently. He has a hit in 5 straight games, but also 14 of his last 16 games. So he's just been really consistent recently, finally getting into a bit of an offensive swing of late. Like I said, I'd take him against left-handed pitchers pretty much every time. I wanted to play his total bases too. I thought it was going to be plus 110, plus 100. It was minus 120 for total bases, which is not something that you regularly see. Kind of shows what the books feel, right? They don't really want you to take advantage of this line either. So I'll throw him in a total basis, round robin, total basis parlay, something like that. But for these two very consistent hitters, to be able to get him at minus 114 to knock down a hit right here, I like the spot a lot today.
Yeah, I can never say anything bad about riding with JD or Springer here. One thing I will say, though, is we've seen Syndergaard get blown up prior, and he's had a fantastic outing the next one against the Rangers. I don't think that has anything to do with a hit parlay. Obviously, you can get a hit and not give up a lot of runs, obviously. But that is weird to me that the Angels are on a 10-game losing streak, and they're favored against the Red Sox. Right. So obviously the books are leaning that this is going to be a pretty good game, minus 115 to the Angels. I have to lean the Angels because why in the hell would the book put it there, right? Syndergaard versus Waka. Waka's been actually pretty good this season. So if you think about it, I think the Angels are the spot to go to. I think Syndergaard has a bounce back spot, but I don't think that really matters, especially with a guy with good history against him.
Do you think it's the books' kind of skepticism about this Waka bounce back season he's having so far? Because he's burned people for like years. You know what I mean? It's been a while since he's been good. Do you think that's maybe why we're getting this line?
I don't think so, because if you think about it, why would, after Syndergaard gave up 7 runs in his last outing, why would they give me this line? Why would they give it to me after a huge meltdown with Iglesias too, and then obviously leading to the home run by Stott yesterday? I just think that this has to be a Angels line or just leave it alone, because minus 115 on a game that you just got beat on a grand slam in the 8th and then obviously blowing the game in the 9th. You're giving me minus 115 on a pitcher who just gave up 8 runs in only 2 innings. Like there's something up here, right? And Waka hasn't been bad. So, and Mike Trout's on a hitless streak of 7 games. I think this is like the longest one ever. So, I mean, something's got to give, and I think that the books are giving me this line. I have to take the Angels, if anything. It's just a weird spot for a team on a 10-game losing streak.
Yeah, I saw that. Mike Trout is on the worst hitting streak of his career after Tommy Pham called him a bad fantasy football manager or commissioner. So,
and the thing is Mike Trout is still a top 25 fantasy player after going hitless for 7 straight games. Right. That's what's crazy to me is that's how good he started out the season. I think he's ranked 18th right now in 10 categories there. So obviously still up there from how good the start of the season was. Let's get to Taylor Fade, our Pikkit Taylor Fade section. I'll go to you first here with a young stud that I almost cashed the absolute full ladder. I had up to 9 Ks last outing. He ended up with 8 because the Red Sox just lit him up second time through the order, but he had 6 Ks or 7 Ks first time through. I gave up the ladder as a free play on the first of the month. Do you have a thought here on Hunter Greene facing off against the D-backs?
Yeah, I do. It's very, very simple. We got a good young pitcher that strikes out a lot of people going against a team that strikes out a lot. I really don't have too much in-depth analysis to give you right here. That is my general line of thinking. I'll be tailing Hunter Greene over 6.5 strikeouts right here. He's always, like you said just a second ago, a guy that's very tempting for some of these ladders. He's shown 10 strikeout potential in some of these past games. I wish I got to see him against the Nats series, right? That's one I was kind of hoping to see and get a little better look at. But since there's no Nats game, I'll definitely be checking this one out. These Diamondbacks strike out a lot, man. I like the over 6.5 Ks right here. Nothing special. I'm just going to tail. I like the public on this one right here.
Yeah, 372 strikeouts versus right-handed pitching. Second most in MLB. 217 batting average versus right-handed pitching. There's really not much besides numbers wise. This is a smash spot. But honestly, what's scaring me off is how public it is. And this is like 6 straight outings he's hit this. And we saw how protective the Reds are of his arm. We saw him give up like 4 straight hits and he was out with 70 pitches and he had 8 Ks on the Red Sox, right? So I'm not judging his stuff. I think it's obviously his stuff is electric. I'm going to take the under just because. But that's just me. I'm just going to take it just because this just feels too low, right? If you're going up against a scrub team like this, we definitely should be seeing a little bit higher, in my opinion, where this should be at. I think 7 Ks might be a little bit high for what they're asking for me.
That's fair. I understand where you're coming from. I can't hate. This is a very public play on a young guy. Like, I don't know about you. Would you rather sometimes see a guy has hit a line 9 out of 10 games than 10 out of 10 games, right? Just to show he's human in there, show he had a bad outing that he bounced back from. I see what you mean. It always worries me when someone's been like perfect for an extended period of time. It's always that skepticism. Like, are they really going to keep doing this at this high level? MLB's a hard place, but he could strike out 7 Diamondbacks in like 3 2/3 innings today. So that's why I'm going over. But I definitely understand what you mean.
No, I do not disagree. This could either blow up in my face, or he blows up too. So I mean, it's very, very much. I said this when I posted the ladder. Is Hunter Greene is either gonna kill it or he's gonna get killed. Right? There's really nothing in between. He's gonna have a 5K outing. He's either gonna have a 9K outing or he's gonna have a 1. Right? There's really nothing in between. This guy is literally a boom or bust guy. So let's head over to our second Taylor fade, another prop. That I will be tailing. I really like Robbie Ray today. I'm going to be talking a little bit more in depth about the Astros matchup here in a little bit. That'll be my next play. So I will kind of not say too much because it's going to be most of my next talking point. But the Astros, about a 24% K rate versus lefty. So not a ton of stuff to talk about in that way. Like, it's not a plus matchup by any means. But they've just been struggling against left-handed pitching. I will let you take the rest. I will be taking the over here on Robbie Ray.
Yeah, what I want to say is this line is just so odd. I mean, I want to say a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, I believe we both faded Robbie Ray at 7.5 strikeouts. That was obviously in a better matchup, but still, to see a line move down for one of the, elite strikeout guys in the league, right? I mean, to have that line down at 5.5 against an Astros team that, like you said, just isn't popping off the page against left-handed pitching at all, it's kind of suspicious. So I'm really at like a crossroads here. Common sense would say, yeah, take the over. This is just simply too low. But then also you got to remember why the books are like, this is minus 105. This isn't minus 145. You know what I mean? This is like, they are asking you to bet this. They're like, look at these hit rates. Look at those green graphs you see all over Twitter. To me, it screams like, please bet this. I can't really give a good argument for the under, though. That's really why I'm struggling right here. I'm going to fade it. I don't trust it. They're setting me up for failure right here. I'm just going to fade Robbie Ray and just stay away from this one. I don't want any smoke at all.
Love it. Love it. Love it. I will, we'll be on opposite sides again on both, I believe. So
you always win those, so we'll see what happens.
Let's go right into it. Like I said, I didn't want to talk about the Robbie Ray one as much just because I will be on this play as the Mariners' first 5 under 4.5 minus 110 DK line here. I really like this spot just because of this pitching matchup. Robbie Ray, like we said, has been a little bit worse on the road. I get that. I know a lot of people are looking into that as well, but you're looking at the best hitters on this team, right? The best contact guys and the best power guys on this roster right now are Yordan Alvarez, Kyle Tucker, and Brantley for average, right? And all 3 of those guys are lefty. Robbie Ray absolutely dices up lefties. I talked about it a little bit 1 second ago. The Astros are the 4th lowest batting average versus left-handed pitching this season. They're really just not generating runs at all. Like I said, 215 and only a 664 OPS, which is very, very low for a team with the name recognition of the Astros. But if we're looking at the other side, the Mariners have a WRC plus of over 100, which is obviously better than average. But Christian Javier at home, 0.38 ERA, 31 Ks in 23 innings with a 139 batting average allowed. That is fantastic. If I was going to take a side, I think I would have taken the run line of the Mariners first 5. But how can you mess with that, right? I think this is the best spot. Robbie Ray, again, is very, very, very home run prone. That is what gets him in trouble. 11 home runs given up this season, but with only a 368 slugging percentage versus lefties on the year, it's hard for me to go to this Astros team where Robbie Ray is destroying lefties. That's your best hitters. Altuve and Bregman are kind of slumping right now, and that's going to be the guys that have to get out of it to hit this side, right? You go to the bottom of their order. It's Jose Siri, it's Martin Maldonado, right? Jeremy Pena obviously is very, very good. I'm not going to talk bad about him. He's been fantastic, but that bottom of the order is almost free outs at this point. And Yordan does not hit lefties well. Robbie Ray does very well against lefties, and we've seen what Jordan's been able to do over this past week with multiple home runs, a triple yesterday, which we saw, and a homer in his last game. So give me this under. The Astro struggles versus lefty is really what I'm going to take away from this. And also Christian Javier at home. How do you fade this man? Give me the under 4.5.
Yeah, this is going to be a game to watch today. Javier, like you said, has been absolutely lights out at home. And then we got Robbie Ray on the other side. It's kind of crazy that we have an Astros team, right, that's like so good and just won the World Series a couple years ago. And Yordan Alvarez is the scariest bat in their lineup with a guy like Altuve and all these other dudes. Bregman's still there. So it's kind of crazy, right, that's how it is. But you're right. We get the lefty on lefty matchup. And as we know, Yordan, when you're playing those home run parlays or bets or whatever, you really only see it against right-handed pitching. You know, you don't normally see people risk it on these kind of days, and that's obviously for good reason. Those splits are pretty insane versus left-handed and versus right-handed pitching. So whenever we got two real good pitchers dueling it out on the mound, I'm never going to complain at an under right here, and I feel the exact same way with this play. We've got a good setup right here. 4.5 is pretty high. When you first told me right before the show, I was kind of worried. You know how they stick you on an even 4 sometimes for the push? That's kind of what I was worried it was going to be. But when I saw we got that extra number right there, definitely going to take advantage of this 100%. And yeah, Turbo asked if this is for both teams. That is correct, right? Yep.
It's the full, the first 5. So go to first half usually is what it'll say.
Yep.
And take the under 4.5 for the game. So it'll be just those, rolling with those there. We're at that 22-minute mark. Perfect. 20 plus of you guys in here. Smash that like button. All you guys watching this later. We're going to do the recap right now. So this is the spot you want to get to if you're watching this later and want to just check out the plays. So I will kick it to you, Monotone, to give out your one play and the 2 Taylor fades that you're leading to here.
Yep, I'm going with JD Martinez and George Springer to both record a hit. This is minus 114 over on FanDuel right now. And then for Taylor fade, I'm going to be tailing Hunter Greene over 6.5 strikeouts. And fading Robbie Ray over 5.5 strikeouts, and fingers crossed. You know, this is purely fading the number, right? I'm obviously no argument against Robbie Ray right here. This number is just suspicious with the capital S.
And I just checked right now because I was thinking about what my DraftKings lineup would be for today. Robbie Ray's the number 1 most pricey pitcher over on DraftKings right now. We go down here. We're seeing only 7,500 middle. He's mid-tier Hunter Greene. So it's just scary right there. I mean, obviously, I never really use that towards numbers in the betting side, but just something to think about, right? I'm going to be rolling with Guardians first 5 money line, Mariners first 5 under 4.5 at minus 110. I will be fading the young pup here in Hunter Greene, and I'll be tailing the grizzled bet, which is Robbie Ray over 5.5 Ks. Could blow up. Could kill us here. But, hey, it is what it is. That's the whole point of the Taylor fade being in the public side there, right? Could either be very good or very, very bad. Appreciate you popping in here. Thanks again for popping in. We appreciate it. Monotone, what do you got for the people before we head out on this day, on this really gloomy Monday here? I don't know if it's raining out by you, but it's like pouring out here this morning. It's been kind of a crappy day out here.
Yeah, no, bright and sunny right here. Got the window down though. You know, I like to, keep it a little dark. But yeah, if you guys want to do your own Taylor fade, if you're watching us and going, these guys are idiots, you know what I mean? I can do it way better than them. Go check out Pikkit, right? It shows you the most popular plays of the day. You can go sign up over there with code PASSTHEPROP, PTP. It's a completely free app. I've been over there a ton this weekend, right? I was feeling a little bit under the weather, so I was just posting home run parlays, posting bombs, total bases, just kind of having some fun, messing around. And it was pretty fun, right? Hit an Austin Riley homer. He had a triple in his first at-bat that went off the top of the wall, and I was in shambles. And then he finally hit that homer the next couple, I believe the third at-bat. I was fired up after that one. So that was a nice end to the day. We're just over there hanging out over on Pikkit, so you guys will want to check that out 100%.
Love it. Yeah, I had that same thing. I had the home run on that one as well. I had Austin Riley like 4 times this week. And he's done very well for my bank account. But yeah, not much else to say from my end.
Ben has a question real quick.
Yes.
Do you want to get to that? I'm curious what you think about this one. I'm curious how you feel about it.
I think Boston wins game 3. personally. I think they win game 3, and I would not be surprised to see the Warriors take game 4 in Boston. It's just you got absolutely dismantled yesterday. Like, that was just an absolute beatdown. I don't think the Warriors are better than Boston. I just don't. I don't know if that's just me seeing them play a lot in the Eastern Conference as a Bucks guy, but just like how well the Warriors have shot in this series is unbelievable. And honestly, in Boston, you're going to tell me that they're going to let Draymond take out people the whole time? I don't think that's going to happen. I would not be surprised. I'd take his ejection. I would take Draymond to get tossed in Boston. Because if what he did yesterday was in Boston, his ass is out for sure.
Yeah, I wonder if they have a prop for that. I wonder if a book puts up one. That would be kind of fun. But yeah, I need to watch yesterday's game again, so that's why I threw it to you. I went to sleep after the first quarter once I saw most of my bets hit. So yeah, no, I need to rewatch it. But it's been a weird series. I have no clue who's going to win. I said Warriors in 5 at the end of our last show. Maybe I'll change it to Warriors in 7.
That's the thing. Like, I am not interested in this finals. I have not had one bet in this finals. Like, there's nothing. I have no care for this finals. It's just, this whole playoffs has just been kind of in. I don't like blowouts. We're seeing blowouts in the finals. Like, it's just, I don't know. That just might be me. That might just be me.
I'm first quarter only, baby. Just running those first quarter. It's the only thing that's keeping me going. The full game stuff is brutal, like you said, but first quarter's been a blessing. So gonna keep doing that.
Perfect. While we're right about to head out, thank you, Chris, for popping in here. Like I said, the recap was about 2 minutes ago. If you guys want to go pop back there and check it out. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be back with you guys on Wednesday. I believe we have a guest on Wednesday. Probably having a guest on Friday, but stay tuned for that. I think I have somebody in mind there. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you guys. Let us know if you're tailing. Make sure you guys follow us over on Twitter for more free play action. So have a good one, guys, and we will talk to you guys on Wednesday. Peace.